Good evening and welcome to 365 Language Planet. This is Let's Speak English and Nihongo Live, episode 29. The theme of this episode is nighttime. So now, let's begin. Hajimemashou. The first question of tonight's show is, I don't usually get sleepy until 1 a.m. How about you? 日本語で私は普段午前1時まで眠くならない。It's noisy. It's noisy. Thank you, K Workshop. Check. Okay. This is still noisy, huh? No. Just a moment. Okay, so it seems like we're having some noise trouble. So I'm going to turn the mic off for now. Sorry. Okay, hopefully the sound is better now. I think it is. We got sound. Ah. That was crazy. All right, so the question is, for people who haven't joined the show yet, okay, great news, I hope so. So I don't usually get sleepy until 1 a.m. How about you? Please write your answer in the chat. And K Workshop, so you want, did you write I can hear you well or I can't hear you well? I hope you can hear me well now. I don't usually get sleepy until 1 a.m. How about you? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. Takanona gets sleepy around 10 p.m., which is good. Okay, we fixed it. We fixed it. I don't know what happened, but that's great news. That is great news. I'm very, very happy to hear that. So how about you? What time do you usually get sleepy? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, K-Workshop says, I always get sleepy. I always get sleepy. Yeah, I don't always get sleepy. But you always get sleepy. Very funny answer. All right. I know, I said I don't usually get sleepy until 1 a.m., but sometimes I do. Like sometimes, like last night, I got sleepy. I was very sleepy, so I think maybe I was very sleepy at like 11 p.m. last night. How about you? What time do you usually get sleepy? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. All right, Takanona says, when I drink alcohol at dinner, I get sleepy. Me too. Me too. Yes. Okay, well, let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。Yeah, any kind of questions okay? Could be about nighttime. It could be about living in Japan in the summer season. Any kind of question is okay. Today I went to a summer festival. It was very exciting in Shinmaibashi Station. How about you? That could be a sentence, and then you could say, "How about you?" Or it could be a question like, "Do you like going to summer festivals?" Anything is okay. We talked about the time, time going to sleep. So we talk about what time you usually leave home, what time you usually come home. All right, Charming, thank you for joining tonight's show. She says, good evening. I usually go to bed around 10 p.m. That's nice. Are you sleepy at 10 p.m., Charming? Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Charming, for joining the show. Now you can write a new question in the chat. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。We had some sound trouble tonight, mysteriously, but I guess the sound is better now, so we're all good. Tonight, the theme of tonight's show is nighttime, and so if you want to, you can make a question about nighttime. You can make a question about anything. Today, I've been very busy today. How about you? My favorite food these days is tofu. I love eating tofu. I think tofu is like the best summer food for me. How about you? You often eat tofu? Could be a good question. What time did you go to sleep last night? Possible. Maybe you are too hot. Today it was another very hot day in Guma. All right, K Workshop says it doesn't get cool until morning these days. I'm sick of it. How about you? Me too. I am sick of it. And I hate, I love to go outside, but recently it's so uncomfortable to go outside, so that's challenging. Takanona says, I wake up early in the summer. How about you? Great question. I don't wake up early in the summer anymore. I used to, but I try to train myself to not. So yeah, recently I get up around 7, and that's kind of late for me. But great question. Nice work. Nice job, guys. All right, let's move on. Oh, Charmin says, me too, Takanona-san. Great. Thank you, Charmin. Okay, let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is, what do you usually do before going to bed? 日本語で寝る前に普段何をしますか? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります. All right, so the question is, what do you usually do before going to bed? 寝る前に普段何をしますか? So, you can please let me know your answers in the chat. I usually watch some videos on YouTube or Amazon Prime. How about you? All right, Charmin says, I always small exercise before going to bed. Nice idea. That's great. I wonder if I can clap. Clapping. Nice idea, Charmin. I'm going to start clapping again. Yes. I would just add, if you say small exercise, then exercise becomes a noun. I would just say do. I usually do some small exercises or exercise before going to bed. All right, Kan Mama, thank you for joining tonight's show. I usually take a bath before going to bed. Sounds very healthy, but isn't it too hot? I mean, for me, it's too hot to take a bath before going to bed this season. But maybe I should. Maybe I should. I'm thinking about changing my evening routine. And so that's one of the reasons why I chose this topic, nighttime. Because... Okay, K Workshop says, I drink a cup of water before going to bed every day. Nice. That's probably very healthy, very good routine. I should do that as well. But I usually drink, this season I drink 1 or 2 mega highballs before going to bed. And I often eat some food too. So, quite unhealthy according to some people. Takanona says, I usually fall asleep while watching TV. Nice sentence. Yeah, me too. Sometimes if I find a show on Amazon I really want to keep watching, I keep watching until I fall asleep too. All right. Hey, hi, Bridge. Thank you for joining tonight's show. I usually drink a glass of water for my health. How about you? That's great. Like I said, I usually drink 1 or 2 mega highballs before going to bed this season. So I'm thinking about changing. I wanna change my evening routine, my nighttime routine, to be healthier. And so, thank you guys. Thank you for sharing your evening routines and kind of encouraging me to be healthier. So yeah, maybe I will start to drink a glass of water before going to bed instead of a mega highball. All right. Well, great job, everyone. Let's move on to the next section. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります。You can write a new question by changing my question. For example, you might say what do you usually do after getting to work? For example. All right, Charming. What do you usually do before getting up? Nice question, Charming. What do you usually do before getting up? So, I guess I usually say good morning to my wife. And sometimes I think about maybe what I want to do in the morning, and I try to tell myself, Garrett, you gotta get up and you have to drink some water. That's what I usually tell myself every morning. How about you, Charming? That's a great question. I feel like for me, drinking water in the morning before getting up is very important. I mean, after getting up, it's very important for my energy. All right. If you have a question, please write it in the chat or in the comments. All right, Charming, what do you do before getting up? It's a tough question because usually, before getting up, people are very sleepy. And so, everyone's different. Some people I don't know. Everyone's different. So that's a great question, Charming. All right. If you have a new question, please write it in the chat or in the comments. 新しい質問があれば、チャットまたはコメントに書いてください。All right. Charmin says, I read a newspaper in my bed. Sounds nice. Nice idea. Taganona says, I take naps on weekends. I want to take naps on weekdays too. How about you? So I used to take naps a lot. When I first started resting more, I'd often fall asleep. But recently, I don't take naps. I don't fall asleep as often as I used to, which is nice. All right, K Workshop says, what do you actually want to do at night? I want to go drinking. Oh, great question and great sentence. You're not the only one. Yeah, that's a great question, great sentence. I do, I love going outside. And so, I would say, what do I actually want to do at night? Yeah, I love going outside. Sometimes drinking. Sometimes exercising. Taking a walk. But, and then sometimes I like watching videos too. And so it's tough, but good question. Okay, well, let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? 日本語で寝る前にジムに行くことに興味がありますか? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります. Question is, are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? I'm kind of interested in it. Because I feel like recently my evenings are not very healthy. So I'm trying to think about what I can do to have a healthier evening. So I'm interested in it, but how about you? Are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? Let me know in the chat or in the comments. 寝る前にジムに行くことに興味がありますか? チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. Are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. I think some people would say, heck no. They are definitely not interested in going to a gym before going to sleep. But, there might be some people who are. So I wonder, how about you? Okay, Charmin says, no, I'm interested. Probably, I'm just going to guess no, I'm not. No, I'm not interested in going to the gym because I'm very tired after work. Great English. I'm sorry to hear that about your work. Okay, Kan Mama says, no, I'm so tired at night. All right. Nice English, Kan Mama. I'm sorry to hear that though, but good English. All right. Are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? Please let me know your answer in the chat or in the comments. 寝る前にジムに行くことに興味がありますか? チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. Okay, Charmin corrected her sentence. I'm not interested in going to a gym. Sorry, no problem, Charmin. No problem. I have near my home, there are 2 gyms that are open at night. So I'm thinking about it. I'm just thinking about it. Are you interested in going to a gym before going to sleep? Please let me know your answer in the chat or in the comments. All right, Takanona says, I do leg exercises at home for about 30 minutes before dinner. I sweat a lot. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't like sweating. But maybe you like it, so that would be good. All right, K Workshop says, it may be effective, but I usually have no power to exercise. Oh, sorry to hear that, K Workshop. Yeah, it's an interesting, it's just an idea. It's just an idea that came to me in the car this morning. Okay. All right, well, let's move on to the last section of tonight's show. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. You can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書けます。I would say the one thing I'm worried about is if I go to the gym, because usually I don't get sleepy until 1 a.m., but I'm kind of worried that maybe if I go to a gym, I might not get sleepy until like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., which that would be a disaster. So one thing I'm kind of concerned about. How about you? Now you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書けます。All right, A Hybrid says, no, I don't have time. All right. Yeah, it's like some people. Some people don't have time, don't have energy. Yes, I understand. Okay, so now, A Hybrid, you can write a question in the chat. Or in the comments. All right, and the theme of tonight's show is nighttime. So, you could write a question about the nighttime, like, what do you like to watch in the nighttime? All right, Takanona says, do you prefer to exercise when you wake up or before you go to bed? Great question. I used to prefer to exercise in the morning, but then I realized my exercising in the morning was making it more difficult for me to do other activities. And so I decided to start exercising in the early evening, late afternoon, until it became too hot. So now it's too hot to exercise in the late afternoon, early evening. And so now I usually, exercise either, I think the best time for me to exercise would be in the evening. How about you, Takanona? All right, K Workshop says, if possible, I want a training room with air conditioning in my house. How about you? That sounds like a dream. I think that's a dream, everyone's dream to have a training room in their home with air conditioning, strong air conditioning too. I think, I used to go to a sports club near my home, and they had air conditioning, but it was not strong. And so I would sweat like crazy. All right. Well, if you're still typing, please continue, and you can send your question in the chat or in the comments anytime. But that's the end of tonight's show. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I have a big announcement. Our next 2 shows will be on Tuesdays instead of Sundays. The next one will be on August 5th, 2025 at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. And the show after that will be on August 12th, 2025, again on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. This is because my brother and his wife are coming to Japan, so I think I will be very busy on the weekend, and so I'm gonna move this show to Tuesday. All right. Well, let's see. If you haven't already, please subscribe so we can study together more, and give the show a big thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And I hope everyone has a great evening. May the force be with you. Thank you, K Workshop. You too. Great study and drinking buddy. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Have a great night.